So, should we talk about bee hotels?
Yes, so it's that time of year again where these little things are going to be used. These are the bug hotels, bee houses, whatever you want to call them. Now, those of you that have watched my previous videos will have seen the ones that I've made, seen the ones that I've bought. So I thought I'd do an update, basically because it is that time of year again. The males have started emerging, the red mason bees. I've seen a couple of those flying around, and at the moment they're wondering where these have gone, and I'll tell you why these have gone in a minute. So yeah, they're all starting to emerge, and there's obviously a lot of talk about them on wildlife groups and pages on Facebook and whatever, and a lot of people want to know where to put them, how to build them. So I'm going to try and go through a few bits. I'm still learning, but you know that I've learned quite a lot from these groups. I've also started my own solitary bees in the UK group because there wasn't anything specifically for solitary bees in the UK, so that's on Facebook as well. Now, a lot of people are going out and buying this sort of thing, which is off the shelf bee hotel, and various size holes. A lot of the time they use bamboo canes, bits of bamboo cane, various different sizes. So there are some that are far too big because I was going to get onto the sizings in a minute, but there are some I've seen at Waitrose. They're way too big. The hoses, the bamboo canes that are just far too big. So you need to really look at what you are picking up. Now, there are arguments out there from some people that say, oh, you shouldn't use these, they house parasites, you know, the parasites will stay in the tubes, you can't clean them out. Now, if you look at a lot of the experts in the field, and a lot of people that are on YouTube that have been doing this for years, their argument, not so much an argument, some of them will just say, look, use these, you're helping the bees no matter what. And to me, that is the way that I'm looking at it, is, you know, you've got nothing in your garden. So you buy one of these, you've then got something for them to go into. So why not? Yes, you cannot clear them out. But the reason that I've done these here, these have been up for a couple of years now. So I'm going to give these a rest and I'm going to rotate them every couple of years. So these will all be taken down. I'm going to make some new ones. And this is one of the pre-built ones that I bought today. Bit disappointing. I've spent 3 and a bit hours driving around various places, supermarkets, seasonal aisles, which normally have bird houses and bee hotels and all sorts in. Hardly anywhere has got anything in stock. This came from Otter nurseries, but the likes of Wilco's and Homebase, B&Q, all the places that you can buy these from, they haven't got any in. So I don't know whether it's for me too early, or whether they've taken the bird houses down because we're already into the nesting season, so they've taken the bee houses down as well. I don't know. It may be that it's too early, so who knows. But this was the only one I could find. Now, I wanted to find a huge variety because I've got a little plan in mind. Before I get into that plan, let's go through hole sizes. Now, a lot of you will think of them about the bees about honeybee size. Now, the red mason bees and leafcutter bees later in the year, they like about 10 mil holes, 8 to 10 mil holes. And as you can see on some of this old one here, this old log, there you go. You can see these are 10 mil holes. They've been filled up, still not come out yet. A few of the ones further down, the smaller ones, have definitely come out. So yeah, they're filled up, but in that one there as well, you can also see that some of the 6 and 8 mil holes have been done. Now, I didn't realise while I was getting into all this and setting up the channel and setting up the page that there are tiny beads as well. So these are the drill bits that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using everything from 3 mil to 10 mil. So there's 3, 4, 6, 8 and 10 mil holes that will be drilled in new bits of wood. Now I've got these here, which are all hardwoods that a friend has given me, and they've been thoroughly seasoned. So I'm going to be making quite a few new hotels over the next couple of days. I'm not going to go and show you how to do it. It's fairly self-explanatory. Holes, drill holes. And then they will be put back up on the side of the greenhouse. So then comes the position. Now I've decided I'm going to try 3 different positions that the holes will face in. I have tried them on a west facing fence before and I didn't get anything, but that was further down the garden. I've got a feeling it was in the shade too much. So on the greenhouse where I showed you earlier, I'm going to be having some facing east, some directly south, some directly west. And we will come back later in the year and see what, if anything, is in those. The recommendation is as south as possible in sun so that it gets nice and warm. There are others that say that the leaf cutter bees, which come later in the year, prefer an east facing into the sun, so that it gets the morning sun and warms the entrances to the hole up. And then the mason bees like it facing south. So as long as you've got somewhere that gets a good amount of sun during the day, you should be able to get bees visiting your house. Also, if you are making your house, there's quite a few channels that do recommend putting something over the top as a bit of a shelter for rain. Now, when I drill the holes in, I always try to drill at an angle. So the entrance to the hole here, when that's there, it slopes upwards. So if you can imagine the drill going in at a slight angle up, but not a huge amount, but slight amount up, just so that if there any rain gets into it, it can then run back out. This is an old bit of oak, and this done extremely well last year. Nearly all the holes, including the small ones, were filled. The only issue I did have, and it was too late by the time I found out, I had a great spotted woodpecker come along, and a lot of these were taken away by the woodpecker. It hasn't done any damage to the holes, but obviously going into the mud, taking the grubs out. So this year I will be putting some sort of netting a couple of inches or so across whatever I build, so that the bees have got a chance to survive. Don't want to go taking away the all-you-can-eat buffet from the great woodpeckers, the great spotteds, but what I will be doing is I'll make sure that I've got another couple of feeders up for them, because they do come down to the feeders and they'll have the suet balls, the suet pellets, and even the sunflower hearts. They'll hang on the feeders and get those as well. So it's not like I'm giving them no choice. So, but if you're going to go for something and your main diet is natural, then you would go and find them. So I will be blocking them off at some point. Now, one of the things you will find with any of these purpose-built or shop-bought ones is they're not the best of quality. So they will start to fall apart like this one has. These ones, I've said I will be recycling some of these. This one will be placed. I'm going to place all of these facing north, so they'll still warm up in the sun. So the bees that are inside these will then come out throughout the year. But these two will be disposed of then. The others then will be put into a shed and they'll be brought out next spring as well, just in case there's any still in the tubes. If there aren't, it doesn't matter. They're out there. It will give them a chance to get out, because some apparently can stay in for 2 years. That's what I've heard. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on and do some making, but I won't bore you with the details. What I'll do is I'll leave this video here and I will come back later in the month or at the beginning of next month, and we'll go through what I've built, where I've positioned them, and we'll see what has happened. Now, alongside the ones with the holes in, bits of wood, and also these with the bamboo canes in, you can also get some. I haven't got one here because I haven't been able to find one. I am planning on buying one or making one. Is you can get some with trays of wood, so you get thin pieces of wood that have got channels routed into them. If you get those, they all stick together and those can be cleaned out. Now, this is where some of the people are saying, you know, you have to buy the ones that you clean out, or you can buy the ones with the cardboard tubes with a liner in, and at the end of the year you take the cardboard tubes out and you harvest the cocoons. I would like to give those a go, and I will probably end up making one of the routed ones. You can go for, is it nurturingnature.co.uk website. They do some. They are fairly expensive, but they look really well built, and you've got doors that you can take off the side and then a perspex cover over the channels, and you can see the bees doing all their business. They're really good, and so I am looking at building something like that myself. I'm over for next season, so for next year I'll get myself a router and I'll make a few of those up. Probably make a few up that you can't see but you can still take apart. So yeah, I just think that yes, those are good because you can clean them out, you can clean the mites out. You know, there is also the argument that, well, the mites are nature as well, so why are you going to clean them out and kill all the mites? But it has been said that in the wild you will have a tree with a hole in it. You won't have hundreds of holes like this all together, so you have a mass concentration then of possible mite infestation in your houses, which is why they then say to you know, every couple of years take them down, rotate them, put them away, and then when it comes to it, hopefully the mites are all dissipated, so you can then just get a drill and just slowly sort of ream out the holes again and make them clean, ready for putting them up after a couple of years of having them rested. So it swings and roundabouts. I mean, personally, educate people if you think they're doing it wrong, but tell them why. Don't go down and just go, you shouldn't be using those, take out those canes and put something in like the cardboard tubes. Why? Everybody's helping. Every little bit goes to help, surely. Because I didn't see any bees last year with mites on going into mine. I mean, I sat there for hours just sitting watching them because I found them fascinating and so much to learn. You know, I've bought the books and all that lot. Still can't get my head around what is what. But yeah, hopefully this summer I shall get to know my bees a bit better. Just on a last note, this one I made of oak was used, heavily used. Nearly all the holes were done. Now this one you will have seen on my Devon Nature Garden Facebook page, etc. This one I made, and I don't know whether it's the overhangs over all of them, but some people say the overhangs help. Don't know what it is, but not one hole has been used. It's made out of exactly the same oak as this. it's not treated. So yeah, it's baffling me, really is. But so that one will be going back up again. I'm probably going to sand off the faces again and just see, you know, if anything does take it up this year. So anyway, I shall leave you to it. Love to speak to you all again, and yeah, we'll come back and we shall see what wonderful creatures have taken residence. I'm going to go and pop that one up now so that the other bees that are already there have got something to aim for. Take care. Cheers.